Hey there, attorneys. Welcome to the Legal Clients on Demand Marketing System. My name is Attorney Michael Goldstein. Not only am I one of the founders of Legal Marketing Strategy Pros, but I have been a practicing bankruptcy and employment discrimination attorney since 2006. So this is what we're going to cover today. First, we're going to talk about how you can get more qualified case leads, basically getting the leads that you want in a matter of days of this training. You'll be able to get up and running and start driving more traffic to your site. So how do you get a consistent flow of online cases while you sleep, while on weekends, while you're in court? We're going to show you what you need to do, what the processes are, and what the system is to drive those leads and those qualified leads, more importantly, to your front door. And how to follow up and turn those lead opportunities into new revenue. And we're going to prove to you how these concepts work in your market with guaranteed results. So there's a few problems, obviously, with marketing a law practice. First of all, you'd be spending a lot of money on low quality or inconsistent lead sources. A lot of folks, they're out there on Avo, they're out there on, all of these, on Yelp and all these kind of smaller directories, and just pouring money into it. You're using Nolo, you're using a lot of lead sharing services where not only is it you, but your four neighbors right down the street are all getting the same lead. And then it becomes an issue of either who's the first to call the client back, or in an hourly rate situation like a divorce or a criminal, oftentimes it's even who's just the cheapest. And that's not something that you want to compete on. You want to compete on quality. So marketers, are they over-promising you and they're under-delivering? I mean, how many people say, I guarantee you're going to be first on Google? Well, you know what? We're not going to tell you you're going to be first on Google because nobody can guarantee that. And if anybody does, you should run from them. There are some very tried and true, what we call white hat search engine marketing techniques that you follow. And if you follow, you should do well. But nobody can guarantee anything. Now, marketers who don't understand unique challenges that lawyers face, that really can come into play. A lot of folks, they will market just to anybody. They'll do for anyone. They'll work with a plumbing company. They'll work with a kitchen remodeling company. They'll work with, with a dentist and with a lawyer. Well, each of those come with their own unique challenges, but specifically as it relates to attorneys, we have the ABA model rules and we have our state bar rules that come into play in terms of marketing. In addition to the fact that when you're dealing with Facebook and you're dealing, excuse me, and you're dealing with Google, there are certain things that you just can't say. Also, do you have an empty schedule? Do you have not enough people requesting consultations with you? Or do you have folks who are taking up too much of your time and they're just not willing to move forward? These are huge issues that can just eat up all of your time. And then most importantly, because 70% of folks who are looking for someone look to Google first. And more specifically, they're going to put in bankruptcy attorney near me, divorce attorney, if you're in Boston, maybe Boston criminal defense or whatever it might be. Are you showing up on Google Maps? Because if you're not showing up in the top 3 of Google Maps, you might as well just call it a day. Well, we've managed over $52,000 in Facebook and Google ad spend in 2021 alone. We've generated over 1,600 leads for our clients this year alone, and it's only October. We've worked in 10 different markets in 2021, and we understand how to market a legal practice because the founder, myself, I'm a practicing bankruptcy attorney, and I've marketed many other legal practices as well as my own practice for over 15 years. So I truly do understand the unique challenges that come with marketing a legal practice, which is very different than an e-commerce store or a home service company. So what we're really looking to do is this. We are on a mission to elevate the legal industry by promoting real ethical attorneys. I'm just so sick and tired of the used car salesman analogy. Attorneys are, heck, we've got to take the ethics examination and pass it before we can even sit for the bar. All right, so we only work with clients that we know we can help succeed, and that's a real big piece for us. We are, we're very transparent with how we work. We are exclusive and loyal to one law firm per geographic and practice area. That's really important because only one person can rank number one on the Google Maps. Only one person can rank number one, in any given area for a search. So if I'm in Miami, Florida, and I'm looking for a divorce attorney, only one divorce attorney is going to be number one. Now, I know this all sounds crazy. I understand that you're thinking, this sounds impossible. How do you do that? How do you increase leads? How do you guarantee results? And I understand that you probably heard a lot of these claims like this before. But let me walk you through the process and let me show you, and let me prove to you how it works. And I'm going to tell you at the end of this how we guarantee results. So just a little bit about me. I actually put myself through law school running a nationally known web development agency back in 1999 through 2002. I marketed my own bankruptcy and employment law firm for 15 years with great success. In fact, we actually use our bankruptcy firm in Greenbelt, Maryland as one of our case studies. I am certified in Google Analytics. Our team is certified in Google Ads as well as in Facebook Ads. And I've personally worked with companies across the country and helped them triple or more their leads and sales. Haven't always been involved just in legal marketing. I have been involved marketing home services and other industries, and across multiple niches, I've been able to achieve the same results. And most importantly, not only myself, but other folks within our company have all been quoted in articles seen on CBS, on Fox, on ABC, on NBC, and the like. So what's the solution? I mean, how do we go about doing it? So we have a proven system guaranteed to bring results. The first step is to attract qualified, targeted, and quality legal leads using the power of Google search and specifically the Google Maps section and Facebook ads. Then we capture these inquiries and consultation requests with a smart multi-pronged system, meaning that we have a follow-up system that gets people in the door, and then we educate them about your services along the way, even before you ever meet with them, so that they're almost pre-sold to use you. And we ensure that new leads are scheduled and followed up upon. So let's look at just some of our results. This is, these are some Google ad results from one of our clients, where you can see over the course of 90 days, they got 101,000 impressions on Google, 49 forms filled out, 169 phone calls. This was over 90 days. The graph to your right shows the Google My Business. So just Google Maps alone, 11,000 plus searches. Most of those were not searching for the name. 5.9 thousand views on the search maps. You're looking at, 66 calls, 64 requests for directions to the office, 188 website visits. And then if you take a look at, and this is in total transparency, my own firm, the Phillips Law Offices, ranked number one in Greenbelt, Maryland for debt relief attorney. We also ranked number one for Chapter 13 bankruptcy attorney, Chapter 7 lawyer, and many other very competitive terms. So imagine what your life would be like, when you can use digital marketing platforms to level that playing field and compete with the larger firms. Because Google doesn't care about your bottom line. They don't care about what kind of assets you have, how much cash you have in the bank, how much you spend. You can count on new cases coming in consistently and predictably, and that's the key, is predictability. We can tell you, we estimate you're going to get 20 to 25 leads every month. And you're never having to worry about losing money on advertising. We guarantee it. If we don't produce results, you don't pay. Simple as that. And then most importantly, your prospects see you as the most trusted, logical choice in the market. And when the customers see you as that choice, you really don't have to sell them. They come in and they want to hire you before you open your mouth. So why do we look at Facebook? We talked a little bit about Google My Business, but Facebook is really critical because if you look at this, The amount of folks on Facebook far exceeds any other medium. Now, we also do utilize YouTube, which has the second most views and is also the second largest search engine in the world next to Google, and we actually combine the two together. 2 billion people on Facebook per month. Think about that. 2 billion. So your target market is clearly on Facebook every day. And by the way, Facebook and Instagram are the same platform, just so you know. Facebook also offers the lowest cost for customer acquisition. And that might be the biggest. I mean, in the legal industry, we have been told TV commercials and billboards, since the day we started law school. But it costs a whole lot less to use digital marketing, and you can target your audience rather than just showing it to anybody who drives by. So let's talk about the actual system and how it works. So essentially, we have Google ads, we have Facebook ads, we have YouTube. So what happens is we run several campaigns. The campaigns lead to a landing page. The user then opts in to receive a message. Then they are retargeted with specific text messages, emails, even phone calls, so that it's a process that has to flow in order to get these people pre-sold on you before they ever come in. Now, obviously, the idea is at the landing page stage to get them to schedule an appointment. But even after they schedule, and that appointment's not for 3 days, 4 days, we want to warm them up. So, what are the keys to a profitable Facebook ad campaign? Number one, you've got to target the right people. Unlike billboards, we're not just showing this to everybody under the sun, or TV commercials or radio commercials. We can look at the actual behaviors of people. We can look at the demographics. We can look at the areas. We got to make the right offer. And that's really critical too. You need to speak to the pain point. We have to make sure that we draft an ad that is going to be read, and it's not just going to be skimmed over. But also, we have to make the right creative and the right graphics to stop the scroll. Obviously, we need to have the proper landing page. One of the biggest challenges I find folks have is it's not that difficult to craft a good Facebook ad and to go hire a graphic designer or a videographer to put something together for you. Yeah, I mean, it's going to cost you a decent amount, and you get all the clicks, and now what? They come to you get 85 clicks last week and not a single lead because nobody filled out a form. Well, why? Because your landing page wasn't built to convert. So, when we're looking at Facebook ad campaigns, we want to make sure we have all the elements in place. We want to make sure we have a call to action. We want to have an engaging graphic. We want to have just enough text so that someone doesn't get bored. And the other piece of this is that we need to ensure that we are getting our brand out there, and we're putting something out that someone's going to remember, because oftentimes they're not going to click on the ad the first time they see it. They're going to need to see it 4 or 5 times. But even if they just stop and they roll their mouse over, oftentimes we're going to see a video, they're going to watch 5 seconds. We can retarget them with a better ad, or an ad more targeted towards what it is that they're looking at. We know where they stopped watching. So let's talk a little bit about targeting. So with Facebook, you have the ability to target in a whole host of areas, whether it's age, whether it's gender, whether it is based on just what we call a lookalike audience, creating similar lists of people based on your existing clientele, whether it's based on their education, whether it's on a personal interest. You can also target based on engagement and essentially based on online behaviors. We can optimize for people who are likely to click on and go to a website. We can optimize based on people who are likely to watch a video versus people who are likely to fill out a form, depending on what the goal of the campaign might be. So again, the Facebook ad is very important in and of itself. The graphics, the creative, that's something that it needs to stop the scroll, and that's something that we're very good at. So then you have your landing page. Now, a lot of people have landing pages that are just way too intense. If someone's coming to a landing page, it should not be a page on your website. It can be on your domain, but we don't need your whole navigation bar. We don't need them to leave this page. We want to give them one specific action to follow, and they do that. We give them a video they can watch that gives them more information and a very simple form that they fill out, or a chatbot with artificial intelligence built in so they engage with somebody immediately. And the best part about this is, especially in fields like divorce, in fields like criminal law, in bankruptcy, where people are, they're up all night worrying and they're jumping on their computer. You're going to schedule leads while you're sleeping and they're up worrying. So what are the keys to getting someone to schedule a legal consultation online? Very different. Obviously, lead notification is key. We want to make sure that they have the ability to schedule directly on your website. We want to be able to track the call. We want to be able to track where people are calling from, and we want to know what's being said and record those calls. And we want to make sure that everything is put into a customer relationship management database, a CRM system. And that's essentially what's required to get more signed retainers. So, for example, in our situation, we will provide you with a CRM, and once somebody signs up for a lead, you're going to get a text message. You're going to know immediately someone has either downloaded some lead magnet, downloaded your guide to bankruptcy law, or your guide to divorce law, or they've just flat out scheduled a consultation, and you're going to find out who they are. You're going to get an email as well as a text message, as a matter of fact. In terms of scheduling, they need to be able to schedule on their phone right away when they're looking for you, or on their computer right away. It needs to sync to their Google Calendar so they get reminders, and it needs to be able to update your calendar so you don't double book. Okay. We always want to track as well. Tracking is, if you're not tracking, you don't know what's happening. So we make sure that we know who's calling, where they're calling from. Did they see a Google ad? Is it a paid, is it a sponsored Facebook ad? Did they type some search into Google, for example, estate planning near me? We want to know where they're coming from. And we also want to record the call if it's permissible within your jurisdiction, so that you can hear exactly what's being said by the front end assistant. And then we want to make sure that we have a follow-up system, so that once someone does either download a guide or they schedule an appointment, they get an immediate text message thanking them for scheduling, thanking them for downloading, whatever it might be. They get an email 5 minutes later. Then they'll get an email 4 hours maybe before the event happens, if there is going to be an event such as a consultation. Then maybe an hour before, they'll get a text message, hey, just reminding you, can't wait to see you, something like that. So let me ask you a question. Are you enjoying this training so far? So this could easily work for you. There's really nothing that we've talked about here that isn't, that's rocket science. Is it labor intensive? Sure. But, and does it need strategy? Absolutely. But certainly, if you put the resources into it, you can do this yourself. With the landing page, ad copy, and instructions that, we've given you, you could literally start doing this within a week. It'd take a while, like I said, to build up and to test everything, to A/B test your creatives against each other, your texts against each other. But you could certainly legitimately do this. So my question is, are you an action taker? If so, you could do all of that, or you could let us do it for you. And we could show you how we get this done and how we drive 20 to 25 leads to your door every single month. All you got to do is click on the schedule button below, and we can have a consultation. We can jump on Zoom tomorrow. Do you want to have this set up, handled, and running in a matter of 72 hours? Because that's something that we can do. We essentially only work in the same niche, and since we don't compete with our own clients, we have the ability to take what we know is working in one area and run it in the other area, because there's no duplicate content, there's no competition. And we know that we can get your ads up and running. We know what ads we need to get up and running, and we know what keywords you need. So here's the deal. Option one, do it all on your own. Spend the time testing, doing all the tech work, writing the code, getting your WordPress set up and all that, staying up to date on all the Facebook algorithms, because God knows they change quickly enough, and making sure you don't get banned from Facebook and make sure you don't get banned from Google. You can integrate the 5 different software platforms it's going to take to get this and to get the leads into your box in between Mailgun and a CRM system and your Facebook Business Manager, and a geotagging software and a local Viking and reporting software. Pretty easy. I mean, you can get it all done, right? Or option 2, schedule a no obligation free strategy session where we can learn a little bit more about your firm and your goals, and we can see if our services are a good fit. And if they are, fantastic. We can work together, great. If not, I mean, you probably can pick up a few tips from us that you can implement yourself, no doubt. And on top of that, like I said, we guarantee results. We guarantee you 20 to 25 leads each and every month, or you simply do not pay. So basically, you look at the system. Look at what our team does. We look, what your team needs to do. I mean, we're pretty much doing all the heavy lifting. All your team needs to do is pick up the phone and respond. Now, with that said, like I said, we only work with people we know we can help. So this really is only for you, if you're serious and you're an established attorney looking to grow your practice. If you're brand new out of law school, quite frankly, this probably isn't for you. You're probably not going to have the budget to advertise on Google and Facebook. You might want to look at something more like just an SEO campaign, just to try and get your name and your brand out there. If you're currently advertising on newspapers, direct mail, radio, TV, and you're just not getting the ROI, this is absolutely for you because, like I said, Facebook and Google Ads are the way to generate the most interest from the most qualified folks, where it's not just a generic ad to anybody under the sun, but you're targeting very specific people who are looking for specific things. If you have room to take on an additional 3 to 10 cases a month, if you're happy where you are and you just want to stay where you are, then there's really no reason to work with someone like our firm. If you can't, if you don't have the staff, if you don't have the bandwidth to take on more cases, it's probably not for you. And the biggest piece is if you're willing to follow our system and trust the process, because we know from experience, I can personally vouch for doing this since 1999. The system works, but you've got to follow it. So in terms of our Law Practice Accelerator program, like I said, this is for law firms looking to aggressively grow their practice. Attorneys who are looking for a proven automated system to generate new cases on demand. In fact, like I said, we'll have leads scheduled on your calendar within the first month after the ads launch. Now that is the big piece. The ads got to launch first. We're going to get you up with some press releases and some SEO work and some social posts, but ultimately we've got to get those ads up. We guarantee results. Like I said, if you do not get 20 to 25 new qualified, not just any leads, but qualified leads each month, you do not pay for our services. And you don't pay, frankly. We'll keep working until you get those 20 to 25 each and every month. So click below to schedule a free strategy session with me. Again, my name is Attorney Michael Goldstein. I've been doing this since 1999. And at this point, I said, I can only practice in my area. So, I'm not competing with myself to help, the bankruptcy attorney out. As long as you're not in the Greenbelt, Maryland area or in the Boston, Massachusetts area, no problems. What our system entails is guaranteed results. 90-day training system, Facebook ad design, Google ad copy design, landing page design, landing page optimization to make sure your landing pages are built to convert, a campaign monitoring and a management system. We track everything. We train your staff on how to respond appropriately to requests, and we train your staff on how to use our system and how to use the customer relationship management database. We take care of all of the lead follow-up, the emails, the texting, the reminders. And what happens after that? So the strategy session is going to be a one-on-one with me or somebody from my team, entirely focused on your firm, on your practice, and your goals. It's not going to be a sales presentation. It's not going to be me telling you how great we are and what we've done for this and that attorney. It's really about just looking into your firm and where the opportunities are to essentially to grow your business. We'll figure out how to achieve massive results in the least amount of time possible.